Hello. I am back. Last time we just explored more of the temple, while I couldn't focus because I was rambling on about Breath of the Wild and runes that you could add as items. So I'm just gonna continue that just immediately. And that a cool one, like we talked about last time, we left off. Twilight Princess was the biggest contender with cool items. Ball and chain could definitely imagine being one that you could use. Spinner, maybe. Like I could imagine it actually being useful for like, gee, you go so slow in the sand in the Gerudo Desert, and even with the sand boots, it's like, okay, but now you're just walking, and you can't even use your horse out here, or the motorcycle. So what do? Well, imagine that you are able to unlock the spinner item, which, you know, its whole deal is sand, where, you know, if it's in sand, it's good, it's going fast. And even imagine, like, you know, having quicksand obstacles at, you know, at certain points where, you know, the spinner isn't necessary, which definitely works towards, you know, shrine blocking. Another one, the Dominion Rod. While I liked it as an item, it really was, like, limited. Like, it was essentially just a dungeon gimmick, which are really shame when those kind of items happen. Which definitely is the biggest downside of Twilight Princess, where half the items were just, like, only used for the dungeon, and essentially never again. Like, sure, you use the ball and chain to, like, break stuff every once in a while, and, you know, you use the Dominion Rod to just, you know, move statues out of the way so you can, you know, get a secret code. Then the spinner, you know, you use it sometimes to climb the walls in dungeons. But really, they weren't used much after their original dungeon, which is a real shame. And especially with this, like something like Breath of the Wild, where essentially after you beat the game, you just mess around for the remainder of it. Imagine just, like, you know, going around being able to spin everywhere, and it would probably have a longer, you know, reach than just, like, because if you don't use it on, like, sand or on a rail in Twilight Princess, you can go for, like, what, 2 seconds before you just come to a screeching halt? Like, I could imagine that could be, like, elongated, and just, you know, being able to just use a wrecking ball as an item in Breath of the Wild, just to, you know, knock enemies off off cliffs. I don't know why I turned into a cave person. But, like, I mean, honestly, I don't know what the Dominion Rod could probably be used for, like, actually being useful. I mean, maybe it'd have to be, like, tweaked a bit, like, maybe not just statues and stuff. Or maybe, like, keep it to statues, but, like, you know, every statue, as opposed to just, like, oh, only the special ones with circles. Yeah, but, come on, shoot your missiles. Yeah, just gotta shoot at his little dudes. And he shoots this missile. No. And now it's in silence as I extinguished all of my thoughts on Breath of the Wild item runes. It's more like I'm just going through the items of each game, Zelda game in my head. Just gonna hide behind this, you know? Alright. Just doing, oh yeah, I was thinking of these other games. Oh, Wind Waker is the Deku Leaf. But you already have a Deku Leaf that a deku leaf that blows wind, and also you have the glider, or paraglider, so it's essentially both uses of the deku leaf. I just, like, already consumed. Yeah, it also had a hammer as well. It did have a grappling hook and a hook shot, which was very interesting that it had, like, both separately. Oh, I gotta go up the other side. Yeah, I'm just struggling. Wait, where did... My shield always just keeps disappearing. At every turn. Like, not even going back to check for the footage where it disappeared, because I know at some point I pressed the R button where, you know, originally I was like, wait, how did it disappear at all? I mean, at least now I know. I have to be the other way around. Alright, let's go this way. Actually, if anyone else has like cool ideas for stuff they could add in like Breath of the Wild, like items and stuff, or just like in general cool things to add, like, you should definitely put it down in like comments or something. Cause that'd be really neat. Because obviously there's like a billion people with, you know, more creative ideas than I have. So it definitely, like, it's always neat to hear other people's ideas. I was struggling way too much with trying to... Oof. I wasn't expecting to get cheap shotted by air. Yeah, I think it's safer to just, you know, go along the bottom this way. Look for that. Just rush out, rush out. Oh, pair back. Oh, two more bats. This is a pretty long dungeon now that I think about it. I've been going through it for like a bit. Like, I think definitely the longest or the most episodes so far. Maybe? Oh no, it's like three. Three definitely so far. And I think the fire or Earth Temple was only, I want to say 2, but it could have been 3 as well. We also doubt I'm going to finish the temple in this video, so. Oh, didn't know I got pots. there's a... Oh, wait. Didn't even notice these. Anything in there? No? Oh, and here's the rock. Oh. I wonder if that killed the thing or not. Oh, and there's that boss key. Oh, good. It did kill the thing. Okay, now that brings up the question that I just noticed. So, these things were old. So it's like in the future. And I just bombed them, so they fell down. And then I hit that, so it goes back in time. They're still down, but now they're, renovated. Meanwhile, this thing that I just killed, before I turned it on, it was all crumbly in the future and all down. And then when I turn that on, it goes back to the past, it's suddenly rejuvenated. It's sent, it's sent like it's back in time and all back in working order. Meanwhile, but those things didn't go back up, they stayed down. And again, like, obviously I know the real reason why is, because that's how the game works, so they can actually, have enemies to fight, but also not make platforming impossible. I just wondered, like, what exactly are the rules of these time shift stones? They're not being the most, consistent. Again, especially with, like I mentioned earlier, in exploring, the desert area, it's like, how come, like, we see that things that are dead in the future become alive in the past, and that things that are alive in the future become non-existent in the past. But how come, you don't become non-existent? You don't turn to nothingness, or you don't turn to a baby. I don't know, why don't we have Legend of Zelda Partners in Time? No, a Mario and Luigi game is definitely something I should go through in this, maybe Dream Team, because Dream Team is the one that I technically haven't beaten. Like, okay, there's all of them except one I have beaten. The only one I've beaten, so originally the first one I ever got, was, Dream Team. And then, after that, I got to a certain amount, and there are multiple parts where I just restarted it because I wanted to, do something different. I would play through it, and then I'd be like, I'd stop playing, and then, I'd decide, hey, I want to play it again, but then I would also be like, oh, actually, I want to play again, but I don't want to play with this old save file, I want to make a new one. But then, the same thing would happen where I just stopped playing, and the same thing happens over and over again. And eventually I decided, because my friend had introduced me, he was like, hey, actually, you should, I've played, all the Mario Luigi games, you should play Superstar Saga. So I got it for the DS, so it was technically the re-release, and Bowser's Minions. So it just, so it was technically the original, just with, the better, graphics. And then after that, wait, do I have to bomb those in order? No, I'm gonna do it. So yeah, after I had finished that one, and I actually beat it, then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go beat Dream Team. So I restarted Dream Team, and did the entire thing from the beginning, and I did it right, too. I think I'm just gonna hit it right now. And I got to I don't think the final boss. I'm at Antasma right now. After doing the giant Luigi battle against the giant Bowser, and I'm just stuck on that part. I can't get past it so far. I just keep dying too soon. So I haven't played in a while. I'm definitely not going to restart at this point. But I feel like, I mean, actually no, maybe I'll restart, because like I was just saying, maybe I should, go through from the beginning, on actual, doing this. I mean, maybe it's a bad idea, because, just like with the original Legend of Zelda, one of the parts that was having fun was like, oh, I gotta do a lot of editing because I keep dying, and then, I gotta go all the way back. And obviously, like I already explained in a previous episode, that, when I gotta edit a video, the main problem isn't, taking the time to edit it, it's waiting an hour and a half for it to actually upload to my computer after being edited, and then like another hour and a half for it to actually, be fit to upload to YouTube. I mean, it's something I could definitely imagine doing. And who knows, maybe I'll just do a different Mario & Luigi game instead. We got the weird shape. So, it's about time. So this time, we actually made it through, I mean, essentially the rest of the dungeon. We got obviously the boss key. So next time we're going to be doing that. But also, don't forget that, if you have any ideas, like on cool, like Breath of the Wild, like runes or items that could be added, definitely leave them down in the comments, because that'd be really cool. But until the next time, peace out.